Hey guys, I'm NATO King, and last time on Warrior Within, we learned that the prince was actually the Sand Wraith. Or is that the Sand Wraith was the prince? I don't know. Hey, the blade trap's conveniently moving toward the sand portal room. And now we gotta get past these wheels. Fortunately, as the Sand Wraith, I've got lots and lots of Eye of the Storm. Oh yeah, that thing moves on top of the beam. Fortunately, as the Sand Wraith, I've got lots and lots of rewind power. Basically, this part of the game is designed to kill you over and over, and to force you to slow down lots and lots of very difficult traps. You're going to be forced to take advantage of the fact that you've got an infinite supply of sand. Like so. Don't believe I need to slow this down, I just have to have good timing. And I see a ledge way up there. Can I get to it? Of course I can. Oh boy, this one looks fun. Just get the prince's leg chopped off there. Just a bit too slow, slowing it down, but I caught the ledge. It works. The good news is, at least in this game, the health drain is not going to kill you. It'll actually stop when you've got a tiny sliver of health left, which is going to come a lot sooner if you smack your face into blades like that. And really, the only disadvantage of getting hit a lot is that once you're down to very little health left, almost anything will kill you in one hit. As long as you don't plan to get hit, there's not really a whole lot of time pressure. But it still helps to stop whenever you can fill up your health anyway. Because you have moments like this. Remember that ominous platform that was perfect for a fight? We're gonna have a fight! And this one's gonna be a boss fight. I call this guy the Hippogriff. I don't know if that's actually what it's supposed to be, but looks kinda like a hippogriff. And the trick is, you don't want to fight this guy at normal speed. Because he's vicious. Ravages of Time is kind of a waste here. Eye of the Storm lets you recharge your sand tanks before you need to use them again, whereas Ravages, you're probably going to start running low if you use it too many times in a row. And I'm just taking a lot of hits here, but at this point in the fight I'm not going to worry about rewinding, because I'm probably just going to take the same hit again. And now he's just going to swoop at me over and over and over. Very easy to dodge. You don't even need to slow things down, just as soon as he moves, that's when you start your roll. He'll have to get bored eventually. I mean, he was actually hitting me on the ground, and he knows it. One of these days, someone's going to put a boss in a game that actually doesn't put itself where it's vulnerable when it's got a way to attack you without. I expect people aren't going to have a whole lot of fun with that boss, but I mean, I said the same thing about most of Demon's Souls, and I beat that eventually. I know watching my performance here generally doesn't look like I'm the type that would be able to beat a game like that, but yeah, I did it. I sat there and ground many levels and finally was able to not die. Just keep fighting this guy exactly the same way. Try to use some different combos, but I only have that flexibility because I've still got the hockey stick. Any other secondary weapon and it would have broken by now. There we go. And we get a trophy for killing probably the easiest boss in the game. I don't remember getting a trophy for killing most of the other bosses. No, I'm not really sure where I need to go, because the door is closed. Guess this is back toward the throne room again, but I'm not going to be able to get into the same hallway. All the doors are closed. But this crossing up here is still open, so they give you one path, you take the one path. There's a path I can take. I've already been here. But it looks surprisingly broken down for being in the past. There we go. I knew to jump that time. They're just trying to kill you. Over and over again. But I can rewind as many times as it takes. And now we start to see some of the more diabolical traps that require slowdown. I guess maybe you could make that without slowing it down, but that would be tough. Really tough. Oh, this one. I've seen this trap before. Can't fool me with the same thing twice. Unless it's really clever. Hey, recognize this place? It's the garden tower. You can tell because of all the plants. This is a part of the garden tower we couldn't access before. I totally did not intend to jump that way, but it worked. There's that chest that I pointed out before. A dizzying view. So I presume, since I've jumped a few hours into the past by putting on the mask, I gotta get back to the throne room and take out Kaileena before my other self gets there. And you can see, pretty much just from all the running around I've done, my health is pretty low. There wasn't a place to fill up here, though, unless I wanted to climb all the way back up to the control lever, which I don't. I most certainly do not. Plenty more enemies, but again, last time I was here I only had the serpent sword. Much easier to deal with these guys when I've got a stronger weapon. And again, I just kind of randomly run across with no idea whether I'm going to get hit or not. And like I said last time, you can just wall run this last bit. Looks dangerous, but I survived. Now we're into familiar territory. I'll probably have said in the thread by the time this video gets posted that most of the rest of the game is actually retreading old ground, but in an interesting way. Of course, you don't need to slow down time there, but why not? What's it costing me? I don't even have to find sand refills anymore. Although, they do still exist. I'm getting that chest this time. Now, unlike in the Two Thrones, the sand doesn't refill your health, which would be pretty nice, but again, it stops draining. You know, instead of heading to the throne room, I'm going to take the long way around. I'm going to go through this portal, head back to the present, because there's that cracked wall over on the other side of this room, which I couldn't open before now. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what's in that, even though it'll break my game. I'm well aware of that, so I'm going to save before going through the sand portal. And that way I can go get the secret, restore to this point, and then just head back the way I came. At this point, all the sand portals have been activated, so I don't need to hit switches, and I don't get additional powers. kind of strange when you consider the fact that this is before the prince activated any of the portals the first time around.
I must find my way back to the throne room.
Well, I guess I won't be going to the cracked wall. And now the easiest Dahaka chase in the game. Because the floor is covered with water, he can't even come after me. I'm not sure if you can get past some of these traps without getting hit, but I'm not really trying, am I? Alright, that was fancier. And I probably should have healed up before I jumped out of there, but it's not like I've lost much health, and it's not like any of it's going to matter when these are the enemies I'm fighting. Recognize this room? Don't worry, you will. Now you recognize it? Yeah, this is the present version of the room where I fought Shadi. I think they call this one the Sacrificial Chamber. Names aren't important. Hope that's the last of them. Nope, don't care. Because I know where to go. Of course, if you watch the background carefully, you might notice that the wall that Dahaka broke open isn't open, because he hasn't done it yet. Again, this is a few hours before I came here the first time. So, that's not the way I'm gonna go.
I will not fail the Empress.
Sure you will. Now, of course, the throne room is the other direction from here anyway, so it's not like I even really want to go chasing after the Dahaka. That would just lead to more sand portals that I don't want to use right now. I mean, I do have to use a sand portal to get back to the past, because that's where Kaileena is. Or should I say that's when Kaileena is. But there's a sand portal right at the top of here. Pretty sure I get up that way. There we go. I love that move. But this was the sand portal where I first got the Eye of the Storm. And of course, they made me use it on this door. Now, of course, it's cheaper. Don't need to worry about smashing any pots, because I've already got full sand again. And this inexplicable hallway that simply doesn't match at all what was here in the past. But I'm over it. It is at least a slightly more interesting level design than, oh. No, actually, I think it's more interesting level design when they make exactly the same hallway look two completely different ways for two different time periods. I don't know, I guess I'm funny like that. I mean, I love time travel stories, and so few of them really make the time travel work. This one kinda does, except for that whole trying to stop a paradox by creating an even bigger paradox thing. And now, of course, I'm trying to create yet another paradox. Since we know the prince is just running to his death at this point, he's gonna try to stop that too, after he's watched it happen. Oh well, we're just going where the game leads us at this point. And this hallway I had so many problems with. Let's see if I can break that trend. Because this time, I can slow down the blade. And by the time I finally manage to make him jump, I'm mashing the jump button too many times and launching myself randomly from a wall. Take two. Much better. For some reason, I just always walk right into that blade. It doesn't look like it's quite as close as it is. Yeah, there's an easy way down. And this is all, of course, very familiar. Which I like. This is a part where I fought about 10 kunoichi before. And I hear the fight music. They're not coming. I don't remember whether they respawn there in the PlayStation 2 version or not. But I'm not going to complain about... Oh, there we go. Now I gotta fight a bunch of them. Well, they are definitely simpler than the ones I've been fighting. They only take 1 or 2 hits to kill. If I can get them. There we go. And there was a chest at the bottom of this room. If I can get down to it. But I'm not really sure how I'd go about getting there. And I knew I'd be coming back here eventually, because this is where I saw the Sand Wraith for the first time, and the prince didn't really comment on him. As he was going through that door! Turns out you don't actually need to slow time there, but I just did.
I tried my best, Empress. He was too strong a fighter.
He reached the island.
Worse. He followed me through a portal. He's here, now, in our...
Dare you stand before me and admit failure? You should have died to protect me.
I'll not give my life for this foolishness. If you want to try to change the timeline, you can do it yourself. After everything I've done, how dare you?
Certainly puts that moment in a different light, doesn't it?
I already know how this ends.
And I'm still not going to get the chest. Oh well. Gonna wall run over this one. And more trap-filled corridors. Nice, not too difficult stuff here. They're changing up layouts, and I really, really like that. For all the problems that people may say this game is plagued with, it certainly doesn't disappoint in the department of variety. Although a lot of the traps you can just skip entirely. And a save fountain at last. More fights, I'm not going to bother. Particularly because I did skip some stuff in the past in the Garden Tower by going straight to the portal, which isn't where I was supposed to go. So, let's go back to that point. Now the enemies respawn, of course. And see what would have happened had I not gone straight to the portal, but instead tried to get to the throne room from here, which is clearly what I'm supposed to do. Incidentally, going to the portal first seems to break the story of the game. I want to get this chest on the way. That's all I ever needed to do. Nice and simple. And you may remember this little ledge here, which I said was an exit. That's what it's an exit from. Oh, you're gonna block too, huh? I've had enough of enemies to block. Alright, we're done with that, and there is the route to the throne room. More guys to take care of. Let's see if I can... Hey, it worked. Not a whole lot to do in this room because the mechanism hasn't been activated yet. So we'll just drop down this way. Take the easy path through this corridor. And we won't even have to worry about the Dahaka and alternate routes and stuff. We'll just be right at the throne room. Can't believe they let you skip so much of the game, right? I mean, especially when they've got all those scripted sequences for going the wrong way through the portal. Oh yeah, the bridge is down.
Its ship approaches. It is just as the timeline foretold. I'm sorry.
You have done as I said?
The crew is assembled and the ship is ready.
Then go now. I have activated the island's portals. It will travel to his time, engage him at sea. And kill him! Kill them all!
As you wish.
I do not appreciate your tone.
You know you cannot change the timeline. You cannot escape your fate. Yet you send me on this doomed mission.
If you fail and he reaches the island, you will find death at my hand. Now go!
Inzala, Kaileena and I are not so different. Each hoping to change our fate. A shame that one of us will have to die.
Yeah, and if you don't watch that scene, then the story stops advancing, which is probably going to cause problems later on, and you won't be able to get to the end. I don't know when that would be, because I just didn't continue from the save that I had before. I continued from here, and got back up to the fountain where I was. Wanted to look at the map here, just to see what it says about my objective. Way up at the top of the castle to find a way to the throne room now. But I wanted to see, could I get into the rest of the garden tower from here? You know, since I can't get there if I go through the time portal, I'll get attacked by the Dahaka right away. So, just gotta climb up to the top of the room and head over to that other section. I remember there being a cracked wall over there, too, which I wasn't able to get to yet. Not gonna deal with you. And it's just up ahead there. Okay, that was weird. But the door was closed anyway, and I don't know of any way to open it, so I'm just gonna call it a video here and pick up at that save fountain where I left off next time.